90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Diary Room.
Diary
It might be, might not be, but also might be your favorite Big Brother commentary show. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you have some serious reconsidering to do. This is the Big Brother show. Not just a Big Brother, it's the Big Brother show.
B.
The We talk, we conspire, we plot, we plan, we another word that starts with P.
P. Like the letter.
Like the letter P.
Like the letter P.
And we talk all about Big Brother. We yap, and we yap some more. My name is just Chris, and I am always joined with my other hosts.
Tis I, Emol.
This is the show where we talk and we conspire. Like I said, we're just gonna hop straight into it because it was an action-packed week, as always, of course. Starting off with Sunday. First thing we got the HOH competition, of course. Always the HOH competition right immediately on Sunday because everyone is raring and ready to see who's gonna win. And it was a pretty fun competition. With Julia and
Liz.
Liz. Yes, she was the one that came in first, which is the
Yeah.
part. Forgot her name. But they were just yapping, and then they had to remember what the yap was about. And who other than the person who probably yapped the least in the house to win the competition. It was fairly close. It came down to Mickey and Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lauren just kind of just was better. She was better, and she decided to win the competition. Mickey decided not to, of course.
Decided is a really interesting word to use here because it's applicable.
It is. I used it very loosely
Mm-hmm.
because, of course, you're deciding to win the competition if you win the competition. Uh,
Yeah. It was just a true false comp where they're just in their individual little cubbies that if perchance if someone were very afraid to have power, they wouldn't have to.
easily throw.
They could just not do it.
I'm
But
still,
alas.
alas, I'm still so mad that Vince just decided to be so confidently wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always so embarrassing when that happens because they always
Yeah.
air it too. They're like, oh, yeah, like I know it's this. And then they
Mm-hmm.
get it wrong. And it's like, okay, like you're terrible.
Well, I wonder too if like afterwards they try to add like so much suspense to the game that they just try to be in the diary room like you chose this, it was wrong. Pretend you're really confident about it even still. And so then they'll just try to like force that even though because they're probably like how do we make this game exciting when like half the cast got the very first question wrong?
Yeah.
Um, and then like my girl Ava, love Ava. Like half of the house guests get it wrong, and they all sit. She's probably like, "Cool, I'm chilling," and then she's the only one to get the second question wrong. And I feel like that's me. Tag yourself. That's me. I maybe would survive the beginning, and then not much longer after that. But
Yeah.
any one of them especially in that first batch, could have just like hid like, oh no, Oh no, I lost because maybe they don't want to win. Whatever. Ah, that's like the theme of the week, so we'll just keep bringing that up.
You're so right.
Do you want power? No. Well,
No.
then why did you get it?
Well, actually. Anyways, moving right along to the next event of the week. We have a little note about the little celebration that Keanu and Adrian share in the storage room after Amy leaves, but Adrian doesn't trust Keanu in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
I like feel so bad for him. 'Cause like, yes, Keanu was my day one,
Mm-hmm.
and he never like the wrong thing comes out of his mouth every single time he tries to converse with anyone,
Yeah.
but his intentions are good,
Mm-hmm.
but he also kind of screwed himself over.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. We'll get to it later in the week to develop this conversation because I guess he's not completely out of the water for him. At least I am theorizing. I'm
Okay.
I'm theorizing. Maybe I'm just coping. Maybe theorizing is just another word for cope. But I guess we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, next, next on the list of things, we have Rachel and her final two with Ava.
Yes.
The most left field thing
Mm-hmm.
you could possibly imagine. Do you have any thoughts, Miss Ava lover?
Well, because of that, I was shook. I saw people were talking about they found on the live feeds, and I was like, really, really, this is happening. This is happening. Because I like Rachel. I have yet to decide if I want her to like win or not because part of me is on the half of give someone new a chance, and the other part of me is like two-time winner. That would be really sick. Either way, I love Ava. I think that Rachel, her first final two was Amy, and we all know how that went because she's long gone at the point that we're talking right now. That I think she needed a second to like breathe, regroup, and figure out who is someone who is pretty much best centered in the game, like who has a lot of like good social status and then kind of
Yeah.
under the radar at the same time. And I think Rachel and Ava is such a great random pair that
Yeah,
I hope that they just like don't talk about it. Don't tell anybody that you're working together. Shh, 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 shh. And then I think they could be all right.
I think that is there's no way that people just like realize that they're working together. Like everyone's always talking with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine they're talking to each other only, especially because of how social Ava seems.
Mm-hmm.
He is she's in with every single facet of the house,
Yeah.
some aspect. So, I mean, yeah, she probably does have the best social game. I think I was literally talking about this last week,
Yeah.
but I stick by it. I think Ava has the best social game by far. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's the only aspect of her game, but you never know what can happen. This is Big Brother.
Yeah. She just won't get the second question right, and that's all right. But she knows the people. I think if I was in the Big Brother house, I would have to also kind of rely kind of heavily on the social part because I feel like my ability to perform in a game would be 50-50, let alone win would be like 10-90. Guess which one's which. But I think I mean kind of to the next thing that we're gonna talk about, that I again established I'm a live feeder on occasion. Sometimes occasionally I like to be fed. And so Lauren wins HOH, the feeds come back, and the very first thing that happens is Lauren talking to Vince and kind of Jimmy in and out. And the whole time, Lauren and Vince are just talking about like it's so great. No one knows we're working together. Nobody has any idea that we are talking. And then, spoiler, she will spend the entire week talking to Vince and
And only
and
Vince
only Vince.
for
Yet no one knows that they're working together. And
well,
I
that's
bring
not
this
exactly true.
well
We'll
when
get
you're
to that.
only talking together the whole time. But my point in getting a little bit ahead is saying that I have this feeling, crossing my fingers, that well obviously Rachel, this is her third rodeo, and Ava I think is chilling enough with everyone that they'll just be quiet and they won't meet in silence and be like, haha, nobody knows, and then everybody knows. I feel like they have a much better shot at then whatever the heck happened with Lauren. But that's what we're about to
That-
dive into, I guess.
Ah, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So our next note, we were talking about Lauren and Vince. Um, Lauren to the rest of the house is a wild card, naturally, because this is the first time she's ever had any screen time whatsoever the
Mm-hmm.
entire season. And sure, that's cool. But when the entire house, they have a montage of everyone and like a lot of people, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people just talking about how much they have no idea who Lauren is. Who is Lauren? Never
Mm-hmm.
seen her before. What's she gonna do? She just got HOH and she just moved in yesterday.
And they live with her and they're
And they
like, don't know who this is. And we don't live with her and we're like, question
who?
mark? I
Who
mean,
is
I guess
Lauren?
she's been chilling at a she's been good at laying low up until this point, clearly.
Well, she wanted to get power, and I mean, she did it. But
Hmm.
then she had to make a decision,
She had to
naturally.
she had to use the power.
She gets power, and now she has to do something other than just be safe for the week. Um, and Vince is basically she wants to act like well, okay. It was a team effort, but I
Hmm.
would also say that it was like 60-40, 70-30 in favor of Vince. Because Lauren was kind of clueless and she was kind of letting Vince be her guide. And I mean, sure, nothing wrong with that, I guess. Um, but she was also so hung up on not making anybody mad.
Hmm.
And I think that, well, maybe not in this game or at this point in the game, because now sort of bigger groups of people are starting to form, sort of, kind of like a little bit. You don't really know where anyone else is standing, but it's still hard to like hard piss off somebody who's in that like semi sphere of influence. That, like, for example, let me give an example.
Example, please.
We want to put up where Kelly offers to go up on the block again. So
What?
what Tucker obsession is showing. But then Lauren or like not Lauren, Vince mentions maybe going after like a bigger target, like someone like Jimmy, or like may I think I don't know if he throws out Rachel's name. Does he?
I don't remember
Somebody threw out Rachel's
specifically,
name.
but I feel like every week someone's like, you know what you should do? Not me though. Not me, but hypothetically you should.
Whatever you
Yeah.
should do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So he mentions putting up someone like a, an Ashley or a um Jimmy. Why
Forgoing.
do I keep forgetting his name?
Oh,
Uh,
oh, poor Jimmy.
someone like a Jimmy or an Ashley and Rachel. I mean, not Rachel. Too many freaking names.
One day
Lauren,
there'll be less.
Lauren is like, okay, should I put up those people? Because that would make some people angry. I don't want to make people angry. And I understand that in your initial three noms.
Hmm.
Because first of all, you have to nominate three people now because of the blockbuster, and which means that those three people have a chance to do veto, and being HOH is a lot more unsafe now. And I'm just so I can understand the wanting to be safe in the first half of the week. And I will leave this conversation here until we get to the next part because I have so many more thoughts. But I just wanted to set that up because um, Lauren is obsessed with staying safe, and that is very important to this week. Um,
I think one point that I don't know if we're bringing up later, but the montage or like the moments that they showed too of her just straight up not looking anyone in the eyes is
yes.
it was honestly I I kind of related to it because I feel like this is her looking towards Subway Surfers. Like this was such a Gen Z moment of like I'm just gonna stare at this screen. And my favorite though was that like I think it was Keanu that acknowledged it. He's like, "What are we looking at?" And she just I sympathize because I get it, and I can't promise that I wouldn't do a similar thing. They have no screens. She's 22. I like we're all the same age. Like we're just
Where are
staring
all the screens at?
Subway Surfers Minecraft Let's Play in the background of like some kind of story time. Missing that kind of stuff in the Big Brother house. But I thought that was kind of funny, and there was no way to cut around it because if you looked at any conversation that she had with anyone that she was thinking of maybe possibly throwing on the block, that's exactly what she did. Even when they didn't acknowledge it in like the second or third episode of the week, in the live feeds, I saw it happen too. Obviously, not so much with her closest allies because they're safe, but the people who were not safe, it was like she was so glued to a screen of nobody, and this happened so much more than they even showed in the episode. Because I get it. You don't want to upset people. I think she made me realize how terrified I think I would be in that spot, at least that early in the game, because she was in a decent spot.
Yeah.
But then she decided to win the power. So yeah, she had to do the thing.
It's too early. It's too early, and I can
Yeah.
understand where he's coming from, of course, because of the fact that, I mean, like, it's not easy to look somebody in the eyes and lie to them,
Yeah.
especially someone like Keanu, who she was super on trying to put up
Mhm.
because he was not trying to send Keanu home from now on, to be honest. Like, why don't we all just send Keanu home or something? I don't know.
Mhm.
Um,
We were
but
definitely at that point where there's just like the thing to do.
and it's so upsetting because she ends up making like sure, nominations are difficult. So when she puts up Keanu, Kelly, and Will, I'm in your sphere. I'm I'm understanding where you're coming from. Now it's time to evolve. And we'll move through this week naturally because my thoughts just kept getting worse. It just like this week was just a downward spiral. And this was the seeds that have been sowed, the initial seeds, because we move into Wednesday, and we get more game talk, more Vince, more more Vince and Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Vince
But
is
they're not
like,
working together.
they're not working together at all, by the
That's a
way.
secret. Nobody can know.
And so the first person ever, the youngest person ever, um, the first person to realize that they might actually be working together. Maybe,
Perchance.
perhaps. Um, when Vince and Lauren are conversing, Rachel takes a notice, and Rachel no happy. Rachel Rachel needs allies as well. That's another important thing.
Yeah.
Rachel has one friend who is sort of her friend.
Yeah.
Uh, like they're not super locked in because she is with everyone. She loves one another, just like Julie said. And so she needs to plant more seeds, and she decides to go to Lauren and attack Vince personally. Not the greatest move. Um, we got the first insult of Vince being unemployed this season. Might not be the last if he makes anybody
Ooh,
else angry.
number
Uh,
one.
but that struck me. Like I know Rachel is bitter like that, but like why if you know they're friends or if you suspect that they're friends,
Mm-hmm.
maybe she really just is that stupid and thinks that they have been talking strictly game
Mm-hmm.
this whole time because I don't know, she thought that Lauren thinks that Vince is like a good player, and so she tries to like slide in and
Mm-hmm.
like maybe Lauren doesn't actually trust Vince, but she's just using him for game knowledge. But that is the very mentality that I so despise in humanity.
Mm.
Because what happened to joy and friendship?
Not
Why
in Big
why
Brother.
why does Big Brother have to be the place where joy and friendship goes to die?
Well,
Especially like Vincent and her were friends prior, you know?
yeah.
Like they were friends. And if she just took, I guess she just might have not taken a notice until now after she became HOH because who was paying attention to Lauren before she won HOH?
I think Rachel was the one in that montage where she's like, "Who?" When Lauren won the HOH and half of the house was like, "Oh, I just don't know what she's doing," and Rachel was just straight up like, "Who is this?"
Who are you?
I think that that is actually, I mean, truthfully, I like Vince. I am also
Yes.
uh unemployed but without a cool mustache. So when Rachel makes that dig at Vince, I just kind of laughed, but it is you bring up such a great point where this is her friend and everyone knows that now despite them not knowing that. So yeah, maybe you want to you should approach it a little differently. The funny thing is Rachel is one of so many people this week who said like Lauren, just don't let anyone else run your HOH, including Vince says this. Like don't let anyone else make decisions for you, which probably freaked her out the most because in the end she needed people to make decisions for her. Again,
Uh,
I understand. I'm pretty dependent on others' opinions at many times, so I can't even fault her in real life. But in this game, she made it very clear that she's dependent on Vince. And honestly, I didn't even know that they were friends before this because I didn't know anything about Lauren. Again, I'm a so-so live feeder. You know, I and maybe if I watched more, I would have known, but even still, I wasn't paying attention to her because she was literally just straight up chilling. She's just kind of in the background in a decent spot. don't know who she's aligned with, and she I she was in a good spot if she was still aligned with Vince, which I don't even know if she like was as much as he's just aligned with everybody. And it just
Yeah.
like came to light because she was in power and depended on him more, so they got more screen time and they got more, everyone in the house sees that they're together. I don't even know if they truthfully were before this.
Think that
Like they weren't against each other, but it
yeah,
wasn't as tight as it seemed this past week.
it might have been not as tight, but or not Rachel. Lauren did mention like right after she won that her and Vince had been getting super close prior.
Mhm.
Maybe those words were just conflated because now you're in power and you're all
Yeah.
gassed up and it's like, "Oh my God, I have so many friends and everyone's talking to me." And
Mhm. It could
who
have been.
knows? Yeah,
But when she won, she did immediately run to Vince.
yeah.
Like they were all chilling in the bathroom. And they're like, "What are you gonna do?" She's like, "Vince, I need to talk to Vince." And he's like,
I
"Okay."
talk to Vince.
And then somehow nobody knows I'm talking to Vince. LOL.
Except
But
for
then,
Rachel.
well, then, yeah. And so for that to be the understanding of the house, and then Rachel makes that dig at him, I think is funny. I think she's thinking she's funny, but that could have been a little bit of an oversight
Oh,
because then,
like that was really rude. Like that
yeah.
was like a personal attack. Like
Hmm.
it's one thing to like make a silly remark about whatever, but you're calling him an unemployed loser.
Unfortunately, I laughed again, but but I am also a viewer, and I'm not an unemployed loser. I'm unemployed and really cool.
Me when me when I'm really cool and unemployed.
But I don't have the
Um,
mustache still.
so you just your sauce. But I don't know. I mean, Rachel just did we have this conversation about how I don't think it's so weird that everyone's acting like it's too early to get rid of Rachel? Because I think we did.
I mean, it's definitely come up because half of the I we definitely discussed it about her and Riley's on nobody's radar and a bunch of people like, "Oh, it's too early." What do you mean it's too early? Like you actually want to, not as much Riley. I got my other thoughts about Riley. But with Rachel, if you don't want her to beat you, if you don't want her to be the first two-time winner of Big Brother, get her out now. You need to have people to back you up on it. But I
You
think there's an argument for it, but they're too afraid to do it.
you don't want her in jury either because
Yeah.
she will vote emotionally. So
But I don't think people even realize that. I don't think I mean, again, my understanding of her game is a lot of retrospective. It's because I was like 9 when she was on Big Brother originally. And I, even just from her iconic moments, like Keanu apparently knows, I think they should have known that, but they think because, and maybe she's grown up, maybe she's matured.
he's not matured. You see
Uh,
the way that she acts
I
every
know.
single time somebody approaches her with a conversation about her legacy, she's always like, if you're not gassing me up, then I don't like you. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay, then why is your ego so large?
And with someone
Why
like
can't we have a
that,
little bit of a laugh?
it's someone like that, then do you think that she is just going to vote strategically or for the best gameplay? If you have upset her, at this point, you're Keanu that
You're never getting
insulted
her vote.
her. You're not getting her vote. I think you would have to do a lot of persuading to get that vote. I think the only way that he's good is if the other person does something worse. At this point, I think that's what's happening with Rachel. So and they want to get the emotional voters out of jury early, and you're gonna keep Rachel. Okay.
But she's a BB legend. She's a BB legend, Mole. She can't go right now because she's a BB legend and she won the game and we can't get rid of her now because it's too early. And can we stop talking about this, guys? Can we just get her out? Because the entire house is afraid of her. That's the
Hmm.
other thing. It's like, who's actually working with her? Jimmy and Mickey?
Well, I think it starts to solidify over time, over the course of the week. Um, and this also, I'll say, still is from the perspective of someone who is rooting for her, because I'm rooting for her.
Are you?
I am. I personally want to see her stay, but I do think it is a complete mistake for everyone else for allowing her to stay.
Yeah.
So I'm acknowledging that completely. Good for her. She has them under her spell, and I want to see her succeed. And anyone else is kind of the unemployed losers for letting her stay this far, let alone continuing to keep her. Because I mean, I think at this point too, because Lauren just straight up goes back to Vince saying like, "Oh, Rachel is calling you names." And it's like just calling you out, and then he knows that he's on her radar. Um and they try to kind of do this edit where like cuz everybody is saying to not let anyone control your HOH, including Rachel, is saying that obviously mostly about Vince, and then gives her suggestions. And I think it's just like it would be ridiculous to not to I think it makes sense to reassure her and also say if I was in your spot, this is what I think would most benefit your game. And then Lauren goes in the diary room and she's like, I don't respect this.
Yeah.
I
You
think
shouldn't.
well, I think
That's her friend.
if she was complaining about the name calling and being suspicious of Vince, I do understand that. It sounded more like she didn't respect the fact that she gave her opinion on who should be up, and I thought her Lauren's words seemed a bit dramatic for the point that it sounded like she was making. But yes, to it is not disrespectful to say you do what you want, but this is what I think you could do, but also still choose what you want to do. A little bit disrespectful was, hey, your friend that no one knows you're working with, but everyone does, at least I do. I see you, unemployed loser. That I understand being like, hey, hold up, hold up. But Lauren's also not gonna say anything like that.
She did sort of mention that she thought it was weird that she did say that, I'm pretty sure. But like I maybe we both interpreted that scene a little differently because I
Mm,
thought she was fired up because of the fact that she called Vince unemployed. Um, maybe that was
maybe.
maybe that was after when she told him. Maybe I'm thinking of a separate time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Either way, after that happens, now we can move on after that long yap sesh. Lauren goes to Vince and tells him, and now Vince is like, okay. He says the thing.
Curls the mustache.
He he says the big thing that has to be said once a week at least. Mandatorily must be said every week. Have you ever considered putting up Rachel? And and then she's like, uh no, but now I might, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. And he's like, well, you should consider it. Just like what Jimmy said, except he has a reason to say it because Rachel's a meanie head.
Mm.
And then we get some more because we're plotting about Vito now. I don't know if they picked players yet, um, but we can get to that. Either way, They're plotting who's winning the veto. Whoever wins the veto, whoever would be taken off, who would you put up? We get two specific names thrown out. Rachel, because of that interaction, and Ashley. And then Lauren decides to throw in a third name to the hat, Adrian, because he went up on the block already, and he was one of the choices between Will and it was between Will and Adrian and Ashley at the beginning of the week.
Mm-hmm.
She still went with Will for some reason. I guess because she thought he would be safe the easiest. He's the most pawn to ever pawn.
No. And he is like just he's upset, but also
Yes.
accepting it.
Oh my God. I forgot
Larry
we forgot to
accepting it.
talk about that.
Yeah.
He was so mad, and I would be too. I was mad for him.
And we finally got like a good moment of him on the show too, because we
Yeah.
don't see him that much. And Will is funny,
Will is
first of
so
all.
funny.
And he was just like over it.
He
And
was mad, like he
he,
was genuinely mad. I would
yeah.
be too. Because
Be
if you're telling me I'm a pawn every week, you put me on the block once a week,
hmm
and it's
And for
like,
no
yeah, I'm
reason.
surviving. Like Amy got swept. He was the first true pawn to ever pawn. Has there ever been a pawn that was able to 13-0 somebody or landslide them at that many house gets, by the way? 13 votes, not one for him because
hmm
everybody likes him. That makes sense. But now it's a new week.
Yeah.
Don't have to put another pawn up. You have many good nomination targets.
So many people in the
So
house.
many people who have many cases to be put up on the block that are normal, like normal cases. And yes, it creates a little bit of ruffles some feathers, but you're gonna ruffle some feathers regardless.
Not to mention, but to mention, Will and Lauren are in an alliance together. Like at
Well,
this point, she is
is there
in,
even any true alliances
well,
at
not anymore, but in theory, I keep kicking my wire. Because I'm so mad. I'm kicking
Ah,
things. And Lauren, at this point, we still don't know who she's aligned with coming into this week. But there was an alliance that included her and Will, and I think that's the only alliance that she was in except for some friendships, clearly Vince. And then she still put him up, and then what do you do? She's so afraid to upset people. I guess it's cuz he's used to it, but still like he probably expected more of someone that he's kind of aligned with. But yeah, to your point, no alliances really exist in this house.
yeah,
So Will should have known that at this point, but in theory, not in practice, the two of them are aligned
yeah.
and you're putting your alliance member on the block because it's easy. Whack.
Wow.
Whack, I say.
For all I know, for at this point, I feel like because that was never mentioned, the alliance is just null and void. Why do we even make alliances if we're not going to honor them, by the way? Like,
In
why
this
can't
house,
we
there's
just
none.
why can't we just call them friendships or
Friendship, 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 friendship. No,
friendship?
the
Um,
week one there was the Burger Boys, and wasn't that
that was
like
week two actually. Oh
week
wait, no,
two?
that was
It
week
was
one
week one
because Zay
because
was still
Zay
there.
was in it, and
Yeah.
Vince was HOH, and then put up his Burger Boy, and poor Will was I think the only one who believed in that alliance and was like, these are my boys, and now there's no boys, there's
Will
just
is the lettuce.
individuals. Oh, that was such a weird analogy. And Zay's like, I'm the buns, obviously. But now,
Will is the lettuce.
yeah, and the
Moral of the
lettuce is
story.
still there, and unfortunately on the block, but still there. But you're right. There's no real alliances. There's just loose acquaintances, and those you turn to in moments of desperation, apparently.
Yeah,
But in theory, they were alliance, and he's still on the block because he's just put in this spot. And for why?
because they hate him.
Why? Well, okay,
Why?
we all know why. It's because he's the older guy.
Because he's
And
older.
I think that is
That's a
boo.
dumb reason.
I think that's a dumb reason because then you have Ava who is just straight up chilling with him, get to know him, but he's also complaining that it's hard to get to know the younger house guests because there's such an age gap. Then please try more, please, please. Because we had Kenny last season that was just like, I want to go home now. And then the moment that things were up, he's like, I'm in, I'm in. And the second that things were down, he's like, I'm going home. I'm just gonna go home now. Please don't do that. Captain Will, get it together. You'll be fine. But not right now.
That was really sad with Kenny,
Ugh.
by the way.
I,
They're better.
yeah,
But like I don't want that to happen with Will. I like Will a
exactly.
lot more. And I feel like we could get into a like I hope that we are in a Kevin situation where he just stays really, really
Kevin.
long.
I loved
Yeah.
Kevin.
Love you, Kevin.
Shout out
Uh,
Kevin. No, I agree. Again, we've seen little pieces of him that he's funny. I like his personality. I want to see it a little bit more. Just don't get in that rut. Get out of the pawn rut. And I don't know.
the
He needs a
more
win. Will
he
needs
needs
a
a
win.
win and he needs to put his foot down after that win, and then he'll get like plus 1 billion aura and nobody will put him up. That's what'll happen. Um,
Let's manifest it.
I'm manifesting so hard.
Mm.
I know we can do it. I have the clairvoyance.
Mm-hmm. Shout out,
I
Will.
do actually want to get to that point when we get to the blockbuster.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and so with that, we move. We we're right before veto, right?
Yeah.
Before we started yapping.
Yeah. We
That
sidetracked
means
Captain Will.
we
Had to
we went
address
on a
that.
little Captain Will side quest. So we were just getting right back to the veto, I believe. Yes.
You're
Yes. Um, so we get obligatory movie tie-in competition. Last year it was The Wild Robot, and this year it's The Bad Guys 2, and both
Rachel's excited.
fairly good movies apparently. At least I heard that The Wild Robot was really good, and I heard that the first Bad Guys was pretty good, so maybe the sequel is also good. So I guess uh, the Big Brother executive, CBS executive producer people are fans of semi-solid cart animated movies. That's sort of cool to know, I guess. Um,
Right on.
right on. And so we get the pics of Ashley, and who else is playing in this veto? Because Will picks Ashley.
And Vince.
Vince Vince is playing?
Vince is playing.
Yes, Vince is playing. You're
Because
so
he had to dress up as a robber who he just looked like him. Like
that's just his fit.
that's just what he looks like. He didn't put on any kind of costume. That's just Vince.
No, he does. Like he very much does give like 1920s Robert. Like if you put him in a striped jumpsuit, like
Oh
I
yeah.
could like I see it. I'm envisioning it.
I wouldn't
Super.
let him anywhere near my bank. Stay far away.
I would not let him anywhere near my bank.
You know my bank that I have
Yeah,
in the
the one
bag.
that I got out back.
The one I have. No unemployed
Yeah,
mustaches in my bank.
you're not allowed to be there, Vince, because you wear a convincing striped jumpsuit. Um, and so it's a fun little competition. They did a variation of it last year, where they had to take big oddly shaped object through vine or wire maze, and um so they had to sneak through, and then Mr. Snake opens the vault, and then everyone gets smacked in the face with this massive crystal, comically large crystal. And
The crystal that's clearly made of foam yet makes a little like clink sound
yes,
every time it touches the ground. That was my favorite part. The crystal, by the way, is probably the size of like me. Like if Rubina was in this comp,
oh my
it's the
gosh.
size of Rubina.
Yes. Yes. I didn't even think about that. At least we have normal sized people.
Hey, hey, how tall is Rubina?
I watched, wasn't she like 4'11" or something like that? She said.
Oh, I don't know. I'm. She is. She was 4'9".
I was gonna say 4'9" next.
Okay, then I am taller than her.
That was my
Fine.
second guess.
Fine. Shout out
But
Rubina. Shout out Crystals.
no, shout out Rubina. No, because literally. And so basically we get comically large crystal must be maneuvered through wire maze. And um everyone looks like they suck. Like really bad. Um and I mean, I probably wouldn't do very good in this competition either.
Oh,
Gonna
not
be
me.
I feel like I would out of all of the excuse me. Out of all of the
Excuse.
competitions that they do reoccurringly, hopefully this one becomes reoccurring because I kind of like it. Have they done this one before? Last year? I don't remember.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's kind of like the one with the vines
Yeah,
last
they've
year, and I know they've done lasers before,
yes.
for sure. I like it. I like the vibe of this
Maybe
comp.
they just kind of maybe that was like an evolution of the competition. But either way, I don't think I would be very good at this. And I'm gonna talk about it like I would be because obviously armchair Big Brother player right here. Um, but I I can understand the strife because everyone looked like they were struggling out there. And it also, I mean, spoiler alert, we have a winner, but it didn't look like that winner w like was in any like it looked like he was just like losing.
hmm
Did you get that too?
So I spoiled it all for myself many days
I also
prior.
spoiled it for myself.
But it's very true that they just kind of did this montage of everybody, and then in the end, they only really showed most of the gameplay of the top three. And so you could kind of just infer from the edit that, like, oh, these people are probably gonna do well. But without reading into it like that, I was also kind of confused that I mean, good for the editors then. They kind of kept you on your toes to like maybe make it seem like he didn't do as well. But then in the end, the top two were so close too.
Yeah. It was
But
like 20, 30 seconds.
yeah. But no, I have to agree that I was like, how does he pull this off? I didn't think he did like the worst ever, but they
Yeah.
didn't really paint it like he
He
was
was gonna
destined
win.
to win. So good for them and good for him. But yeah, I have to agree with that.
I so spoiler alert, not really because we're here now. Top three, we had I believe it's Ashley was in third.
It was Vince.
It was Vince.
Vince who was throwing the competition. This is
That
so good
was
for him.
yes.
He did such a good job at he threw it, but he ends up on the leaderboard so that he
Looks like he
seems
tried.
exactly. However, it's also kind of sad that someone that was throwing it did significantly better than the other people that were playing the comp. But they tried. They tried. But I good for Vince.
Well, Vince was just so goated. Like I feel like if he was actually trying, he probably would have won.
Again, he normally robs
Yeah,
crystals
naturally.
on a daily basis. So
Naturally.
he was dressed for the occasion walking into the house on day one. So he was destined to end up on the leaderboard. But yeah, it was Vincent third.
And then Lauren came in second.
Mm-hmm.
Who other than goat. Keanu went
Mm-hmm.
out the win. Um, I was spoiled because Keanu's freaking mods on Instagram
Oh my gosh,
did
yes.
that he won literally the second after it happened.
They were so excited.
They were so excited, and I was
Aw.
on Instagram and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did you do that?" And so I just whatever.
Alas.
But I mean, I was happy to see it, of course. Um, his days seem numbered unless he gets in with some people, which I have a fun alliance idea that I will bring up
Oh,
later
okay.
because I feel like this could really like work if like I don't know why everyone's so afraid of working with Keanu. He's gonna take you out all one by one. That's the point of the game, boy.
That is the point.
That's literally the point of the game, and he just misspoke terribly.
Yeah.
You need to get a speaking coach, boy, because that's not what the house gets want to hear. I understand, which is why I'm not like I understand where you're coming from, but you can't just say that, bro. Um,
I mean, I think that at this point he is just kind of on his own island, misunderstanding whatever is going on around him. But the more he
world's most
wins,
unaware.
so unaware, but also keeps saving himself. And
Yeah,
I think at some point that has to show for something. Maybe he's not someone that you want to genuinely be super close with, but at least pretend. Like, I think you want him in your corner to an extent because at the same time, at this point, if people know that you're aligned with him, that may be an issue because, I mean, obviously he's been on the block like all the time. But I don't know. I think he's still kicking. He's still there, even though he's been targeted several times. He
he
pulls
needs
out
a
this win.
foothold. He needs some kind of ability to have people to actually rely on. Unfortunately, we are not getting that, at least as though it seems
Mm.
that way. And I guess we'll have to see how things develop in the future. But for now, we take ourselves down. Um, not much game talk besides more speaking. Or maybe I mentioned this earlier, but I'm not sure if this was talked about after or before. Um, but Vince is really trying to push the Rachel or Ashley narrative. Um, and
Hmm.
Lauren is eating it up. And she says she claims she's considering it.
Yeah.
Claims.
Hmm. Oh. Oh. That was
Making
a
dramatic hand motions.
frustration dance, it appears, for
Frustration
anyone
dancing.
listening.
Um, why are we claiming to consider things that aren't being considered at all?
And so I have a lot to say on this, but I need to like rile myself up.
Me,
I need to like
I'm
hold me
already
back.
here.
Hold
I'm
me
already
back.
here.
We're gonna take a deep breath. We're gonna take a quick break.
We need to take a
We
deep
gotta
breath.
take a quick or we're gonna go off the rails.
Ah,
Ah, we'll be
ah,
right
going
back.
crazy. Wow.
Ah.
It's crazy how we time that perfectly every time.
We're just so good.
Ah, my deep breath only kind of worked.
You're Still outraged.
I'm still outraged, I fear.
But yes.
Um, so whatever order this conversation happened in doesn't really matter to the topic of conversation. We were just talking about right after Keanu wins the veto, and we get more game talk between Lauren and Vince. And Vince is like, "Hey," and he says the thing naturally. Have you ever considered putting Rachel up? Yes, I've considered putting Rachel up. That sounds like it. And then they go in the diary room. Putting Rachel up could be a really smart move that could really add to my resume and be a really big game move in the game. And then they come out and then they go back to the conversation that they were having. And then it's like, okay. And then we say, okay, for now. And then we're back to the conversation, obviously. And then Vince also says that and he was like, okay, so who are you thinking of putting up because I'm not running your HOH, of course. And she's
Naturally.
like, I've been thinking of Adrian or Ashley. And Vince is like, well, you know where I stand with Ashley. Showergate just doesn't go away, guys.
No, it doesn't. She,
Showergate,
like, in the way that we were complaining about Will just being on the block the whole time, these people just don't let things go. If this person's
well,
just on the block, we're just gonna
at
keep
least
putting them on the
Showergate was
block.
like a reason.
Sure. And then in the end, when Julie confirmed it wasn't even that long, and the
Uh,
ironic thing is the only person who would know that is Vince, who was there. But he's still, I don't know. I think he's fake pressed about it.
he's not, well, he's more mad about the fact that she blew up on his face. Like, after he put her, you remember when she started hysterically crying and he was like, "You can win the veto and take yourself
Yeah.
down." That's where his issue comes because I think he just like
Yes, she
he's
did
really
do
mad at
that.
her
She's
for
like,
being so upset about it, even
mm,
though like you're week one HOH, get over it.
I.
Like Ashley should get over it because it was week one
It
and
is
like
so
you
funny.
don't
I
have a
forgot about that.
yeah.
that
They played a flashback of it actually.
But
That's
he's
why I
like, you could
remembered
put
it.
me up on the block, and then she's like, I will. I'm like, ooh, I kind of completely forgot about that. I kind of liked that, honestly. I like Vince, but I'm kind of rooting for Ashley, just considering preseason I was kind of rooting for her the most, and and here we are.
I just
But I thought that was funny. I like totally didn't even remember that that happened.
I've just been Ashley has been souring on me as of late, to be honest. Like
Hmm.
she has her moments, I guess. But like I don't know. I don't sh- the people that she's aligned with, I'm not the biggest fans of, and it's just like I don't. It's complicated,
She
but it's
is just
whatever.
kind of chilling, but
I also don't appreciate the
says
fact that she's
things.
so anti Vince.
Hmm.
But she is like if she won HOH, she would put Vince up,
Yeah. I
and
mean, but at the same
I don't like.
time, I think Vince, it makes perfect sense to put him up because he is in a good spot, at least for
He's
right now.
probably got the best game so far. I hate to admit it because he's not the guy I drafted, but he is. If somebody doesn't take him out, he's sort of Chelsea-fied himself.
Hmm.
Like their games are very, 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 very similar.
I
I'm pretty sure
think,
Chelsea was literally week two HOH, and
yeah,
she didn't like win anything for like a minute, but she was just building her social game for the entire time. She had no like not wins. Maybe she had like AI Arena or something like that. But his game feels very Chelsea to me, and I mean, I love Vince as a player from a spectator standpoint,
Yeah.
but he's your number one.
Hmm.
And I wish I had a little piece of Vince in my life. That's all I'm saying.
Cause I don't know. I got the whimsy from the stash and
That's
I
what I'm
thought he
saying.
needed
Like,
to be here. But I think he is in a really good spot so long as he's not exposed. And the fact that there was even just a little crack, in Rachel noticing that, he just better hope that his allies are the ones in power, if not himself.
he needs to
Because,
make an alliance.
but they don't exist. You could throw
Yes,
something
but he needs
together
to make
from
one with
them.
the people who would want one to exist. He can
Hmm.
now, okay, now we're gonna talk about this.
Now we're gonna talk
'Cause
about this.
this is my cope-filled rant. Um, because this would give Vince and Keanu the best odds of staying
Okay.
for a long time. Um, four-person alliance, maybe five. Vince, Keanu, Kelly, and Morgan. That is a four.
Interesting.
That is a four.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe including Lauren in on it, and then maybe also because of Lauren, Catherine. There's no that's real numbers right there.
Mm-hmm. That's
Not like
interesting.
overpowering numbers, but those are real numbers. And none of those people have outwardly expressed, besides Lauren. But I feel like with enough convincing, Vince can get Lauren to work with Keanu. And sure, he's probably bottom of the totem pole because they trust him the least. But if he wins,
Mm-hmm.
then he has to be the top of the totem pole. Um, and that
Yeah.
could also give him more time to build good nature. And people will
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, maybe he's not so bad after all.
I could see that. I feel like at this point, Keanu, like in a house's perspective at least, ruins everything he touches. So I think there need to be exactly that convincing. But that is exactly the point before too, when we're just bringing up the comp wins. If just solely based on that, if he could get people to trust him, I think maybe it's not entirely out of the question. I think Keanu and Kelly, I think they're in like both of them are in such weird spots in the house that like the two of them should like even low key have each other's backs. Um, so I think that Vince also sees the game through the trees a bit more too, and I feel like he could pull something like that off. And I think definitely, especially after this past week of being so dependent on him too, that you're right, like Lauren could probably just be persuaded, like, no, like this is a good thing, Lauren. We're gonna make this happen. And she'll just be like,
Okay.
okay.
And
I hope that
you
she
can bring a
becomes
friend
stronger.
too. You can have a
You
friend.
have a friend. Now, her relationship with Catherine is one that's kind of confusing to me because I'm hearing like different perspectives on their friendship from other people because they did on the show. They were showing like, oh, we're girls, we're friends, we're having a good time. And then like people online are like, yeah, they can't stand each other. I'm like, wait, which is it? And they're comparing it to like Leah and Mackenzie because they were like off and on like friends the entire season. I think they're at least friends to neutral. I don't actually think that they're enemies. But then there's Catherine's relationship with Riley, which I won't get into because we don't have hours for me to complain. But but
Why did you have to talk about it?
I'll bring it up another time.
When it
Maybe
becomes
it'll be
relevant,
relevant.
there's no way this doesn't become relevant in the show. Like, there's no way.
I say nothing, for I am so ahead. Continue. Oh, you look terrified. I say nothing. I don't
I
know.
don't want to hear anything.
That's why I just irrelevant from any of that. I'm still just not a Riley fan. He is saying things in the house that are like freaking me out. Like borderline production should be getting involved in some of the things that I've been hearing.
What?
And I he's just made comments towards Catherine that I just don't like. And Kelly has made comments defending Catherine, which I very much like. I've had a lot of
That's my cat.
respect,
That's Kelly.
a lot
That's
of
my
respect
goat.
towards Kelly.
That's my
Uh
real goat, to be honest. I'm sorry, Keanu, but you make really bad decisions for me. You guys are
Oh my
both.
god, wait, you have both of
I have both of them. Yes, that's
I
why I saw it through because
yeah,
I knew Kelly was going to be like a good
something.
player. I knew she was going to be a good player. I just there was just like it was calling to me.
Mhm.
Like she's such a just like Chelsea. Chelsea was a very grounded person,
Mhm.
and we get Kelly, who is giving me similar vibes. I might have mentioned this before, but like, yeah, like I just understand that they're one and the same.
I don't know if I would quite describe her as grounded, for I fear her head is in the clouds. But I know what you
Okay,
mean.
but like Chelsea was too.
I just
Not
think
quite, but
Kelly is very influenced by the Tucker mindset, despite not
I
being
did hear
Tucker.
about that.
Well, I
We,
mean,
we
she
talked about this.
she keeps volunteering for the block. We're gonna get to the outcome of this week. I am just really looking forward to crossing my fingers that she doesn't
Stops.
volunteer for the block anymore. I think she's proved her point.
No, like
This many
yeah,
weeks in, I think she's
she's got
proved her
like
point.
three comp wins already.
She's
Two?
she's chilling. Um,
The
um,
two
at
A, the two
least
blockbusters.
at least two.
Oh, spoiler alert.
No, that's okay. So, I mean, we haven't even got to who the renom was. We
Really?
haven't, but I will say that I was going about my life as one does and like keeping in touch with the feeds with BB Twitter with whatever was going on and the amount of back and forth and uncertainty on who Lauren was putting up was really funny to me. She, to my knowledge, Rachel was brought up, but I think the real question mark was is the replacement going to be Ashley or Adrian? And I'm just like, apparently it was framed to her like Ashley's a really big move. And I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like both of them have just been on the block before. You want to talk about big moves?
What?
Go back to the Rachel conversation. Like, Ashley's a really big move. I guess it's drawing a line in some
It's
sand.
very much drawing a line, but you
Mm
have to like math out who's being pissed off here.
hmm. Yeah.
Like Jimmy, Morgan, maybe not really. After the developments. And was that this? That was no, that was episode. That was Thursday.
Mm
Um, but like either way, Mickey, Jimmy, um, I guess Will, um, like not a significant, maybe Ava,
hmm. Mm hmm.
but like not a significant amount of the house. You could you would have to campaign. And I feel like campaigning is like a lost art in Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like we are not campaigning like we were in BB 18 and 17 and
Mm hmm.
18 and 20. Like this is a new game. Maybe I'm just BB Unk, but
Maybe they're just giving up.
But like,
I
what
don't know.
happened to going around the house and like screaming at somebody and letting them know, like, please please vote to keep me.
Hmm.
Please vote to keep me.
Well, there seems to be a bit at least of campaigning to stay off the block
Yeah, but
because
it's not the same
it's not the
because
same.
there's more desperation when it's right before you're about to get evicted,
I think
or
that
like
the
the days leading up to the eviction ceremony, I should say.
mhm. I think that there's a little bit of denial that maybe comes with the BB blockbuster because everyone's sitting there talking about, well, if it's between these two people, this is obvious. If it's between these two, it's obvious. These two, I'm not quite sure. There still can be a lot more campaigning than they do because you're right, there's not that much. Because I think going into the comp is just like, oh, I'll just win and everything's fine. And then the conversations will be for nothing. Like, because at the same time, if you're not up on the block on eviction night, you're not actually being voted on, and maybe you don't want to make a million deals that you now have to deal with, and you have to like actually follow through on these deals, and then you don't actually end up on the block. But I feel like I don't know, like you got to weigh your options, and I rather have a couple more deals that would have guaranteed me safety just in case I don't win the blockbuster because only one person does. And yeah, there's not a lot of like big time campaigning, and I guess we'll see that at the end of the Thursday episode too. Um, Sometimes people are just so nice, and sometimes I mean, you're also in this house with the current HOH of this week who is afraid to make any kind of decision because she doesn't want to upset anybody. That's the same house where you aren't getting people that are fighting tooth and nail because, oh, I like the person on the block next to me. Which again, on a human level, I get. I'm
Yeah.
like seeing like, oh, actually, I think this house would like rip me apart. But where are the players that are just like going crazy? And
Literally.
like, I will not leave this house if it is the last thing I do. I will fight to the death. It's just kind of like chilling. What happens, happens. What?
Oh, literally.
What?
With that, I think we should move into the renom because
Yeah.
Keanu obviously takes himself down. And Lauren, I'm sleeping.
Oh, he
It's like
eeping.
Keanu during the veto ceremony.
Oh,
The not the veto
the
ceremony.
nominations.
Ceremony. Um, Lauren decides to freaking put up Adrian.
Ah! Last second, by the way.
Literally last second, and
Last
she
second.
claims to have considered putting up Ashley, but stop. That's all I'm going to have to say. And
Chris is
with
not
that,
having it.
I want to move into Thursday
Let's do it.
because
Oh, he's doing the frustrated dance
oh
again.
my
With
gosh,
Pizza Hat.
with
Frustration
Pizza
with
Hut,
Pizza Hat.
I'm just so I don't understand
Mm-hmm.
the. I mean, I guess because it's Lauren, so she doesn't want to create a divide, which is the first time somebody does that, I guess it can be a little crazy, but then why not just put up Rachel?
That's too scary. Cannot put up Rachel. Vince did not convince me enough to put up Rachel.
Why is it too early to put up Rachel? Why is it too early to get rid of Rachel? Everyone's afraid of her. She has like two friends. She is gonna vote terribly if she gets to jury. There are a million reasons to get rid of Rachel.
And
There's a
yet,
million of them. Million reasons to put her up. If she comes down and she comes for you, Better pray that she doesn't win HOH, I guess. But
Because you did this. You allowed this. You allowed her to stay in this house. If they were just some united front week one, they could have got her out. Well, no, week two. Week two, they could have got her out. But they didn't. Good for her. Not for the rest of them.
so now we're stuck with freaking Kelly, Will, and Adrian on the block. Um, Going into Thursday. Um, and then we get some more game talk. Some, hey guys, I think that if Kelly wins the blockbuster, then we should just cry. That's what we're all gonna do. We're all gonna cry because
Oh.
Lauren made a terrible decision and nobody wants to vote either of them out. And if Kelly loses, we send Kelly home. So Kelly's fighting for her life, of course.
As
And
she put herself in that spot.
she did put herself in that spot,
But yeah.
but that didn't have to be the only like concrete option, to be
Oh
honest.
no.
We could have just
Done anything?
done anything
Done
except
something?
Adrian up. Why?
Yeah.
I guess putting Adrian up was a smarter move than putting up Ashley, because you make more people upset if you put Ashley up.
I think that
Who
the
are you
people,
going to upset other than Rachel and Jimmy?
if Ashley's up,
No, if you put up Rachel.
oh, if you put up Rachel,
Nothing. That's
yeah.
the answer.
I
Nobody.
as long as they actually do the thing.
Yes, but Rachel is washed. She hasn't won a competition. She hasn't won a competition yet.
Mm-hmm.
The only way the only way you get somebody out pre-jury this season and last season is by hoping they don't win the blockbuster. That's just the way the game is. You're gonna have to get lucky. You're gonna have to get lucky or pray that your opponent is not better than you because it's just the way that the game works now.
Mm-hmm.
But people seem to like think that the perfect situation will arise every time, even though, spoiler alert, it does
Mm-hmm.
again, which probably won't help the moves made next week. But either way, um, we we get a quick intermission before the blockbuster. Some talk, some game talk, where they're like, okay, like what do we do here? What happens if Kelly wins, or what happens if Adrian wins, or what happens if Will wins? And so the consensus seems to be if Kelly loses, we send Kelly home. If Kelly wins, we all cry. And
Mm-hmm.
that's like why I'm so mad, because why this didn't have to happen. Didn't have to happen. So, moving into the blockbuster, at least Kelly wins. I'm happy that she did. Very happy that she did. But now I'm sad because I don't want Adrian or Will to go.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we can talk a little bit about the competition.
Because I have
Because
an observation.
yes, I also have an observation. Um,
Everyone's got this observation.
I think we're observing the exact same thing.
Ugh.
So the house guests had to go into two separate rooms and count the differences. Like there was like it was literally spot the difference. Um, and the closest person without going over decides or wins. Um, and Will did a little bit of an oopsie. And if Will
Oh,
didn't do a little bit of an oopsie, he would have won the competition.
I'm
Because
so sad.
and I mean, I guess worst case, like I don't want Will, Adrian, or Kelly to go home. But if I
Mm-hmm.
had to make like a totem pole, I would want, I guess I would choose Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't want to choose any of them. But like I have to.
Yeah.
And like I came to that conclusion along with the other house guests because I it was very obvious that nobody wanted to make this decision. So
I
credit to you,
mean,
Lauren, for doing that.
she wanted to upset the least amount of people possible,
She
and then
probably
she upset the entire house by making them make this decision because when Kelly Kelly wins and the house is just like, okay,
because
great.
the house was ready to make the easy decision.
Yeah, and again, I've had I Kelly's interactions with people in the house largely bug me. I feel like she's just kind of like this I don't want to be rude. She's a human being, but she's just kind of like this creature in the house
No, you're
where
so right though. But
like
that's why I love her.
but I think at the same time I am rooting for her in the sense of she was out the door if she didn't kill that comp and then she killed that comp. Now, she is also very lucky that Will completely misunderstood and the answer was half
Answer
of what he
eight.
put. And
Yeah.
he thought
He
like, yeah,
obviously
I see
thought that he
er,
counted double.
which I'm so frustrated
Ah, why
about
did you do that?
because never I didn't interpret it like that. Like you should have counted each individual thing as like, oh yeah, this
Well,
table in
that's
this
never what
room
you're
and this
supposed to do.
exactly. And so I saw 16 and I was like, what is he doing? What's happening?
And
But
then she revealed it to be eight, and I was like, oh my God.
and Kelly was she good for her because I know a lot of people were saying that they thought that this type of competition was a guaranteed Adrian win. I was not convinced one way or the other. I thought that like they clearly they all did pretty well
Yeah.
because Adrian wasn't too far behind and Will knew the exact answer but just
But he
didn't.
counted wrong,
Ah,
man.
but I think this I got a lot of respect for Kelly game wise. Again, her like personally, like just like genuine girls, that's another hour rant I could do, but I won't do it. Point is, a lot of respect points for Kelly from me recently. But a lot of people were banking on this is going to be an Adrian win. Maybe they were just hoping because they wanted Kelly gone too. Nobody was happy when she went downstairs, and Kelly is very different tone than when she won her first comp, and it was just like, "Yay, you did it!" It was just like, "Great, now we've got to make this choice." And curse you, Lauren, for making us make this choice, because then Vince is the first person to vote, and he seems very distraught. I don't know how real that is. He also like
It
was
took
the
like
HOH.
10 seconds to make this decision.
Yeah.
He was like, he said, I sadly vote to evict like four times. He's like, I sadly vote to evict.
Ah,
I vote to evict.
ah.
I vote to evict.
Me
I
making a
sadly vote to
decision
evict
though.
Adrian.
Ah, my mustache said that, not me. How did that happen? Um, because but this again comes into our conversation about where is the hardcore campaigning. I think a lot of it is missing because of this absolute denial that the outcome that they dread would even happen. Because I'm sure people were thinking there's a majority is Will Adrian. You know, as long as one of them pull through and they win, then we're gonna have that easy out, like you said. And then they didn't. And then I do love these two because they Adrian and Will did
Oh,
their
their
speeches.
speeches were so sad.
It made me so sad. Like I started tearing up because
It was so sad.
it's just like two dudes chilling, friends, and it is hard to follow up Will's because Will just immediately starts crying because he likes Adrian and
And
he
then
is
Adrian's crying because he's
and so it was just like everyone's just sad. And
everyone is
Lauren put
sad.
them in that spot because if
Ricky
she
Lauren.
no, that's not to say that they couldn't have been, distraught over maybe something else or more or conflicted over another outcome of like who's on the block. Like if this was between Will and Ashley or Adrian and Ashley and whoever.
Well,
That's not to say they wouldn't be conflicted, but there is just nobody that wants to vote out these two people. Why did what did she gain by having these two individuals on the block? I guess maybe she didn't lose more because she didn't put others up, but everyone's just sad. They are crying, and here we are.
and with that, the votes fall. It ended up being by a vote of 4-8. Adrian was evicted from the Big Brother house. Um, Against Adrian, we had Vince, Mickey, Morgan, Zach, Jimmy, Ashley, Ava, and Rachel. And Will had Keanu, Catherine, Riley, and Kelly. Um, another day, another slight hint that Catherine and or Riley is just being Catherine's pet.
Slight hint.
Um, do they even like talk?
You are prompting are my rant so bad, but I shan't. They
We can get into this next week.
in in summary, Riley will do anything that Catherine wants, except respect her. Oh, did I say that out loud? So
Ah,
I'm creeped out. I'm creeped out. But
I
yeah, no, Riley
understand.
Riley will vote the way that Catherine does, and we've seen that in previous weeks, and I think we will
Past
for
three
many to
weeks,
come.
you voted the same as her.
Yeah,
Even
I
even when faced with voting for his freaking alliance member,
yes. I don't know what dude is doing. Game wise,
so upset, bro.
I don't get
It's
it.
literally whatever. Uh, Adrian goes home. Julie tells him that Keanu actually liked him, and he was like, "What?
No one trusts him. No one believes a word he says.
But why? Can we? Okay, I don't want to talk about this again, but we might have to talk about this again because I'm not gonna stop until Keanu's name is freaking cleared, man. Because
Keanu,
why?
he just sounds a bit exhausting. And he Ashley does not have a filter. We've established this. She just kind of says things. And I feel like Keanu is not that far behind. He made an enemy of Rachel, and I think that that has a lot to do with it. And people, again, he's on the block. He's going to continue being on the block. But when Adrian was doing that plea to Keanu, I personally had no doubt that he was going to give Adrian that
Me
vote.
neither. He is a genuine guy. Can we like every single thing that has been I don't really everything that has been said about him or that is believed about him was all created based upon a lie and a he said, she said situation.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it because we talked about this before too. Let's not forget, Jimmy started everything. All of Keanu's house problems were started because of Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. You're like, I rest my
I
case.
rest my case. And then
Well,
it just got worse because, yes, Keanu was doing a terrible job clearing his name, but everyone is still lying on his name. They're still lying on his name. He has never made one non-honest decision.
mm-hmm.
Every single time he's sitting down with somebody talking to them, he's being straight up. He told Ava that Jimmy was a snake because Jimmy was a snake.
I mean, a lot of it did stem from that,
That
and
was that was his
Jimmy.
reasoning. That was
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's reasoning for calling him a snake because he threw his name under the bus. But you threw his name under the bus first, which is why he said that.
Yeah.
He said that because of something that happened prior, and he just ignores that it happens.
I think at this point in the game, it would be a mistake for people to continue to overlook him. You probably want someone
He
like
needs to go
Keanu in
next.
your corner
Jimmy needs to
because
go.
he is going. He was loyal to Adrian, who also at some point in the week, Adrian literally asked Keanu not to campaign for him because he was afraid that that was going to do more harm than good. And I can't blame Adrian because
Yeah,
at this point in the game, it's true. But I don't know. Again, I haven't paid as close attention to Keanu's social game at this point because also his competition wins are overshadowing anything because he's just straight up winning and taking himself off of the block. But again, I didn't have doubt that he would uh not end up voting to keep Adrian in the end, and then his shock kind of confused me. And then I just kind of chalked that up to I don't really know too much about Keanu's current gameplay. I
he
don't know.
hasn't made an honest or dishonest decision once.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing that he talks about has been truthful, but he's a liar for some reason.
He's a snake for some reason.
He's a snake because he was calling Jimmy what he was.
I think this is all interesting points that especially, I mean this conversation but also just Adrian's reaction to Keanu actually having his back to the end. I'm going to pay closer attention to Keanu's social game because it's just kind of been toilet for a hot
Yeah.
second.
And if he does end up actually lying and doing what other people say he is, I'm gonna call him out on that too.
Mhm.
Because that's stupid. That's really dumb. I've been saying he's dumb for doing the things. So you can't just say, oh, I have a vendetta against Jimmy because he's coming after Keanu. No, they're both dumb. Everyone is stupid, and I am the greatest Big Brother player to ever not play Big Brother naturally.
Of
Um,
course.
but regardless,
Here we
rest in
are.
peace to Adrian.
Adrian, he did not get that bread,
Didn't get
but
to
he
play the Wolf
did get that
Mom.
bread. I know. I kind of I I like the wall comp because I would never want to do it. But they show it on the live feeds,
They should just let him back in
majority of the
for
time.
just the wall comp.
But I actually think it would be really funny, Big Brother, if you just didn't do it. I think it'd be hilarious
If they
because
didn't
all
do the
they care
wall,
about is the wall comp. And
out of respect,
I thought that the internet was playing this up. I thought the podcasters were yapping it up and BB Twitter and whatever. They're like, this cast won't stop talking about the wall comp. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. Like, I bet they brought it up a couple times. And then there was like a couple nights that I decided I am being fed. And I just watched, and all they would do is be like, and the wall competition's next week. What? Yeah. First of all, it's too early for it to
Yeah.
be this next week.
What?
I think the following week, maybe it could be. Because I know it was still pre-jury. Like it's not like a during jury thing. I think they're approaching it if it happens, but calm down. I think the more they talk about it, the more that they shouldn't bother with the comp, or they should just let
Push it
Adrian
back
maybe for
one
fun
week every time it's mentioned.
until the wall comp is like the final three
Final two instead of the
instead of
scale.
instead of the
Instead of the
scale.
scales.
It's just one really long finale night. It's actually just a live stream. They get to stay on the wall. They campaign on the wall. They talk to the jury on
The
the wall.
jury from a screen
That's what they should do
while they're
instead.
getting blasted.
But they're obsessed, and I really wanted to see Adrian on it.
They should just
Uh,
let him back in for the wall comp.
for funsies, I think the
Just let him
HOH
compete.
competition should be place your bets on if he wins or
Or
loses.
maybe just let him host it.
Let him host the wall comp. Let him torment them. Let him throw bread at them for hours. I
Let
thought the
them
bread
throw
bit was
bread.
very funny. I saw him chilling with the bread. It reminded me of Quinn and his little statue that he had from BB26.
See, that's what
Um
I would do. That's why I love Adrian and
just
Quinn so much.
bread.
Like if I was in Big Brother, yes, I would also probably like go on a date with a loaf of bread.
I'd find a little guy.
Yeah, like there has to be a little guy.
There's always a little
There's
guy.
always a little guy with us.
Speaking of little guys, gotta give a shout out. I am wearing a Janky World shirt, gifted to me by our lovely production, who has not appeared yet this season, but shall later on, when
Ciao.
we get it together. But shout out to production for my Janky World. Shout out Janky, my favorite little guy from BB26. But the bread bit, I really enjoyed. I thought that was funny. And other people probably are like, why did we waste screen time with the bread?
That
Let
was
us
so
have
funny though.
bread. Let us have
That was
some
really
whimsy. Come on. And then I love that they gave him the bread when he walked out the door. Here's a little gift. And then I feel bad that he ends up leaving the house with everyone wanting him there because he was against someone who they also just wanted there. It's not like, oh, they were too afraid to get rid of the other guy. They just straight up didn't want either of them to leave.
want either of them gone.
And so thanks, Lauren and
Thank you,
Vince.
Lauren.
Thanks a
Just
lot.
kidding. I hope you go home next week.
I think that she was just straight up chilling, and then she did not have to win. I don't know what Mickey would have done, but I think that
Oh,
she would
like
have stood by what she did a bit more. Lauren was just so nervous. And again, on a let's just be girls, like I get it. Like I would totally be staring at the screen too. But if I was in her social standing where she's not on anybody's radar, probably wouldn't have bothered to win that HOH comp.
also, I'm just gonna keep coming back to the Rachel thing. That's the biggest move. That's the biggest free move you can possibly make.
But she was scared.
Talk to your closest allies, gauge the field, put her up, and get her home. She's not gonna win the competition. She hasn't won anything yet. I think she's only played in the HOH competitions though.
And yet she's still kicking. So
Because
I
everyone's
I
so
credit
afraid
her
of
with
putting her
that.
up.
I credit her with her social standing because she clearly influences people. So good for her and bad for the rest of them.
She needs to be backdoored though, because she's giving her the chance to win the veto and the blockbuster is too much.
Yeah.
But
Well,
she deserves it.
and then I wonder if they're thinking that post blockbuster is the move, but and I guess right now we don't 100% know when the blockbuster ends, but we're going to be in jury at that point, right? Like you can't backdoor her, if that's the plan, which I agree, like you could backdoor her post blockbuster, and then she's in jury, and then it's the same problem like you said before, that now you have an emotional juror who is also going to have like no doubt influence over the whole jury, because if she feels
Yep.
a certain way emotionally, she is going to convey that strategically to the other members of the jury. If whether or not they listen, I don't know. But lovely Lauren is someone who is clearly impressionable, and maybe she could get something over on her and her own allies and whatever. So if they want to wait to backdoor her post blockbuster, they're too late. It is
Yep.
not too early. But
The
for
only way to
me,
get rid
I
of
want
her
her to chill.
is by praying that she doesn't. The more that you pressure her, like you literally, like you can just put her up. She comes down. You just put her up again. The more you put her up, the easier it is to get rid of her because how feasible is it for her to get out twice, to get off twice?
Hmm.
Not very. Sorry. But
I mean, I think she knows it too, that she's pretty dependent on the social side of things. I think she actually said that in her preseason interview too, that she's like, be lenient on me, because she kind of knows that she's not going to be a comp beast as much this season. But again, she's put herself in such a great spot socially that she's chilling. And so hopefully for her that works out, but for the rest of them, we need to wake up. We need to wake up.
we need to wake up.
And
Let's wake up, BB House.
next week we need some moves. We need
Yes.
waves. And if that's Rachel winning, I think she's the one person who's not afraid to do
Sure.
it. But it's just someone to do something.
Do something,
Do
please.
something. But I suppose only time will tell.
Time like tonight.
Like tonight.
Tonight.
Where you guys catch up to what I know.
So you know.
I do know. But I shan't
The
say.
knower.
I do know things.
I am
I'm
the
obsessed.
knower. I'm not the knower. You are the knower.
I know. I know that we will be talking about the events of tonight a week from now. Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Thank you. Thank you all for coming and listening. This has been another week of the Diary Room, another week of crash outs and craziness, and another word that starts with C. Chris, another week of Chris. And more,
And more!
and more, Chris and more.
It's spelled with a C, but it's
It's literally
silent.
another what?
Spelled with a C, but it's silent. Just
A
trust me. It's still pronounced mole.
all but with a C. Yeah.
Yeah!
Thank you all for coming and listening. This has been another week of the Diary Room. We are so excited for the HOH tonight, and we will see you again, same time next week with more thoughts of the week that just played out, but the week next week.
Yes.
That rolled off the tongue. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.